Hello? Who's there? Oh, hi! It's me, Simon. My buddies are around here somewhere.
We're right here, Simon.
Oh, good. I knew they couldn't be far. In case you couldn't tell, we're scouts. And not just any scouts. We are scouts from the Cascade Pacific Council, one of the largest Boy Scout councils in the country. And we're a part of it. Pretty cool, huh? Since my friends are nearby, I think I'll relax here for a little while. Yup, just for a minute. Ugh.
Hey, buddy, you awake?
Whoa! Hey, who are you?
I'm Chip. You probably don't realize it, but you see me every summer out at camp. I try not to bother you and your fellow scouts, but I'm around. I get to check out all the cool things you are doing in scouting.
You do?
Of course. I've seen you learn how to shoot a bow and arrow, build a fire, set up a tent, and even cook your first scout meal. Okay, so maybe I did more than watching on that one. Next time, more salt. But seriously, I'm pretty impressed by all that you get to do in scouting.
Now that you mention it, there's a lot that I get to do because I'm in scouting. I did an overnight horseback ride at Camp Baldwin, enjoyed the bonfire on the beach at Camp Clark, visited the replica of Fort Clatsop at Camp Merriweather, panned for gold at Butte Creek, paddleboarded at Camp Cooper, and caught fish in the lake at Camp Pioneer. Back at home, I got to build and race a Pinewood Derby car with my friends. So many adventures! And you've been there? The whole time?
Well, me and my buddies. What you do while you're exploring the great outdoors is important to us. And not just the cool experiences, but all that you are learning too. I like to think of my home as your classroom in the woods, and the Cascade Pacific Council makes that classroom possible.
How do you mean?
Think about it. Because you are a part of the Cascade Pacific Council, you get to enjoy scouting in a safe, quality environment at any one of our 9 camp properties. Your leaders receive training year-round. Dozens of neighborhoods that didn't have scouting last year now have a pack or troop thanks to council staff, volunteers, and your FOS contributions. Your parents and leaders receive regular communications through the website and the Compass Points newsletter. You have the benefit of enjoying STEM workshops, the annual Scouting University, and free off-season use of camp properties. And of course, you have summer camp experiences with some of the best camp staff in the country.
That's right. And I know it takes the support of all of us locally to make scouting happen right here in Southwest Washington and Northwest Oregon. Chip, did you know that when my parents signed me up for this Classroom in the Woods experience and paid the Boy Scouts a registration fee, that the fee went straight to the national office of the BSA?
You mean my local Cascade Pacific Council didn't keep any of that? So you have to wonder, how can they afford to deliver such a great program locally?
It's not easy, but my mom explained it to me. You see, think of the true cost of scouting like this forest. What you see from the ground accounts for about 20% of the true cost of scouting. Now, think about it from above the trees. And many people don't even realize that 86.4% of all funding goes toward direct service to youth. Every dollar raised tonight stays local.
I had no idea. I knew everything that you were doing and learning was important, but I had no idea what it took to make that all happen. So what has to happen to keep providing my home and your Classroom in the Woods experience to so many scouts?
I know what my parents do, and my grandparents too. It costs $200 per contributing family to provide the full scouting program to one scout like me every year through Friends of Scouting. When everyone participates, it means that the Cascade Pacific Council can continue to deliver a quality program to me and my fellow scouts. And when a family can do more, They are helping a family who might not be able to cover the full cost of the scouting program for their child. Last year, the Cascade Pacific Council provided 593 experiences to scouts in need. These included uniforms, books, winter lodge trips, fishing derby, summer camp scholarships, and participation assistance.
No boy should ever miss out on scouting because of financial hardship.
That's right! If your family is blessed to be able to contribute more than $200 for the year, your gift will provide meaningful experiences in the life of your scout and so many others.
Why is it important that families contribute? There must be so many sources of funding out there.
A lot of people think that, but look at the breakdown. You see, all funding sources are important, but unfortunately, trends have not been positive when it comes to many of the sources people assume are funding scouting. On a positive note, thanks to your parents and friends, Cascade Pacific Council now has a record 58% of families donating. That is up from 31% of families in 2014. Imagine what we could do if 75% of families make a gift. We have seen growth in many categories of individual contributions, including those of the Volunteer Executive Board and the paid staff of the Council. 100% of employees' families contributed to this year's Friends of Scouting campaign.
It all sounds important to me. How can our parents and friends participate?
There are just a couple of easy steps to make a gift. First, decide how much your family can pledge. Remember, $200 per contributing family supports one scout for a full year. Some families can give $200, some less, some others more than $200. If everyone contributes, it really makes a difference. Next, fill out the pledge card.
How does a pledge card work?
I'm glad you asked. A pledge card indicates the amount of your gift and gives you several options for making payments. This includes payment over several months or monthly throughout the year. Many families find it easiest to make a pledge of $200 or $300, knowing they can pay that contribution in smaller portions until the end of the year. If you make a $200 pledge in February, that is only a little over $18 a month. And don't forget, many employers match donations. It's always a good idea to ask your employer's human resources department. Just think how easy it can be to double your donation to scouting. No matter how you plan to give, it's important that you sign your pledge card and make your pledge today. Please hold your completed pledge card high in the air, and one of my fellow scouts will collect them. On behalf of 21,000 youth members and 11,000 adult members of our council, thank you for supporting us.
Hey, Simon, wake up.
What was that? Chip?
Oh, Simon, who's Chip? It's time to go clean up our campsite.
Psst,